Mhm.
Let's go day by day, starting with Lynch, and you and I say what sorts of questions would be appropriate to ask him, and what you would like to ask, and if I were there, what I would ask. Um, I and this is interactive. People who are watching, we would love your suggestions for Lynch, Shanahan, and Jed York. What questions you would ask? So Iggy, first day, we know Lynch will be there. He'll be smiling. He'll look great. One question is not appropriate to ask him. This is a Stanford guy. I'd like to know what he thinks about Stanford firing that football coach today, Troy Taylor, who was a Cal guy, not a Stanford guy. What Andrew Luck did it. God love him. This guy seems like he was really bad news, and not because he was a bad coach, because he didn't act right. And I'm so proud of Stanford for doing that. And I would love to know what Lynch thinks, but he won't talk about it. Okay, what's a question you would ask Lynch?
Well, there's like administrative stuff you got to ask him that will be asked, since he's talked 3 weeks ago. Since then, they've made a lot of moves. Like, you let Greenlaw go, but you tried to re-sign him at the last minute. Can you explain how you didn't get him? Like, what happened there? You wanted him, you didn't get him.
Don't say, can you explain how you didn't get him? What happened there?
Yeah, what happened?
Try to make the questions not having a judgment.
Sure, it was reported that you tried to match the offer at the last minute and he went with Denver. Can you explain what happened?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And Iggy, that's a really important question that he should expect. The PR guy, who I don't know from Adam, needs to sit down with each of them and say, these are 10 questions I think you're going to get. Let's go over the answers. That's what he's paid for. So clearly that's a question. What other questions do you have?
I mean, you cut 3 starting defensive linemen and signed none. So on paper, your defensive line is extremely depleted. And it seems like your plan is to draft a lot of starters, to have a lot of... why do you feel that's the best strategy for 2025? Having to draft so many players at this one position.
I love it. I think that's a really pertinent question.
Okay. By the time he talks, someone's going to want to know about Brandon Ayuk. Are you going to trade him before April 1, or is he going to be on the team this year?
I love it. And Iggy, if he's on the team, when will he be ready to play?
Yeah.
When's he going to be able to? I mean, is he going to start the season? Is it going to be 6 games in? This is serious.
Why did you cut Kyle Juszczyk and then re-sign him only after taking a dead cap penalty?
Yeah.
What did you accomplish there? Did you have a change of heart?
What? No, not did you have a change of heart, because they clearly did. What motivated your change of heart? Yep. Why did you have a change of heart?
Yep.
Again, I like the questions more open-ended so he doesn't feel he's in the corner bobbing and weaving.
That's true.
Okay.
Why did you give a backup tight end a 3-year deal? What do you like so much about Luke Farrell?
Okay. Iggy, we're not going to do it today because I can't stand it. Where are you and Purdy in contract negotiations?
Yeah, last time we talked to you, you said it was the infancy stages. Are we in the 3rd trimester? Are we a toddler stage? What are we talking here? Are they reading? Are the negotiations reading and walking?
Right. Are we an adolescent yet?
Yeah. Are they in preschool?
So Iggy, what I want to point out, let's slow down a minute. There's a lot of questions.
It's a half-hour interview right there.
Iggy, they have a lot of questions to answer. Yeah. I haven't seen the 49ers. I mean, in the Tom Sula and Chip Kelly years, but in general, this is a great franchise. These are a lot of questions. I don't think the Eagles have this many questions. I don't think the Lions have this many questions. Or the Chargers. This is a lot of questions for an elite franchise.
Has your team gotten better this offseason?
That's the key one right there.
Has your team gotten better?
Yes. Iggy, after you do position by position, you say...
Big picture.
Big picture. Here we are at the end of March, early April. A lot of changes on your team. Is it better than last year's team? Now, remember, you don't have to say it. He knows they only won 6 games. Is it better, and why?
Yeah. Because, I mean, they could sell us on this being the right move for the 49ers for the long haul. Sure. But for 2025, is this team just went 6-11 and then gutted their defense in particular. So maybe they'll be great in 2026, but what is the hope for 2025 here? Like, what are the aspirations? Is it just to, make the playoffs maybe because there's a weak schedule, or are you really gonna go deep with the 8 rookies starting? I don't know. I'd love to hear a plan that gives someone hope for now.
Another way of saying it is, do you expect to be competitive and at an elite level this season, or are you taking a pass on the season and rebuilding?
Yeah.
We're retooling.
Yeah.
Retooling. You want to know, what is their goal, and are they better? Those are the 2 big questions. What is your goal, and are you better than last season?
Right. Because the last few years, they always talked like, well, we got to keep this team together because we have a championship roster. Now they just gutted it after going 6-11. And it kind of sounds like they're saying, well, we could do well. It's an easy schedule. I mean, you never know. We still have some good players, but, we're okay one way or another as long as we're just competitive. That's almost what it sounds like.
What Juszczyk, he was on Sirius Radio. I have something to say about him. I always do. And he said they have a lot of good players. First of all, sure. And they did last season too. And as you've pointed out, it's not about the number of good players. It's about being a team. I don't think they were a team last season. They lost 7 of their last 8 games, whatever excuse you want. Also, who elected him to be the spokesman for the team? A week ago, he wasn't even on the team. His role is to be the designated talker, certainly not a designated player. I think if he had any pride and sense of his place on that team, when radio asked him to speak, he would say, you need to talk to someone who's more enmeshed, who's more important to the team. You need to talk to Bosa. You need to talk to the quarterback. You need to talk.
Fullback.
I'm just a fullback, and I wasn't on the team for 4 days recently. I think first of all, he doesn't want to talk in the locker room, but you can't shut him up when there's a microphone in his face. That's so right. I think really if he had any character, and I don't think he does because of the way he acted toward you, he should decline, gracefully and politely decline to be the voice of the team because he hasn't earned it and he'll never earn it again.
Agree. The Jedi wants to ask Lynch, who has been making the final decisions in the first and second day of the draft?
Okay, I can tell you right now, he's going to say we do it as a group. It's a great question, but it's a throwaway question. He'll never answer it.
Yeah, we do it as a group.
Yeah.
Well, someone has to make the final decision, though. Frank Tom Ocean's been a member for 24 months. Dave Barclay says, what up, G? Excuse me, but Mr. Cohn, I have told you I used to see you at Sierra College and read your work. I just watched your interview with Ryan and cried a lot. Your passion for family and work is amazing.
Thank you, Dave. That is so sweet of you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And Ryan did a great job. He's a dear friend of this family here. And I wouldn't do that interview with a lot of people, but I was eager to do it with Ryan.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm glad to know it's out. I can watch it tonight. Matt Sanders says, if front office had to choose only one, print money or get better, they would print money. They will do the bare minimum to meet their margins. It's bleak.
Woo.